Hello everybody, my name's Yola Roberts and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the first in a series I'm going to be doing of Singer Reacts 2, and in this instance I'm going to start off with something that I know I love and I know for a fact you love, and that is Evanescence and Amy Lee. Now, as much as I love Amy Lee, she doesn't always perform at her best, which I do not judge her for at all, obviously, because even at not her best, she's still far better than me and a lot of other singers that I have heard in the charts. I see these bad performances that she's done and people are like, oh, she still sounds like an angel. And I think, yeah, she's got an amazing, incredible voice, but it is good to also recognise when she's doing things wrong and when things aren't great. So for that reason, I've decided that I'm going to do a reaction to some of her worst vocals as decided by the internet. I'll be wearing my glasses during this because I'm very short-sighted and I cannot see. So let's get to it. I just want to credit Resident Evil OST for this video because it is their video and it is called Amy Lee's Bad Performances. And it's only 1:28 long, so it shouldn't take too long to listen to. I'm going to have to put both earphones in because I'm partially deaf in my left ear, so if I only have the left in I won't be able to hear everything anyway. Okay, so you don't get much chance to really listen, but she went very off key there when she did that "you," and to be honest, it's a really hard note to hit. It's a really weird pitch. If anybody has ever sang My Heart Is Broken, you'll know that those ends of the verses, torn away from you, half alive without you, they go up in this gradient that I particularly find quite difficult to pitch that last word and that last note sometimes, specifically in the synthesis version, but this isn't the synthesis version, this is the self-titled one. So yeah, she's probably halfway through a set at that point as well. So yeah, for those reasons, I think that that was likely just her voice was a little bit tired. She maybe had some monitoring issues, and to be quite honest, that one's just a bit of a bitch anyway. Once again, My Heart Is Broken, self-titled. That song is just so hard to sing. You have to have so much breath on that chorus, and it goes from such a deep place to such a high place, and anybody who knows Amy will know that she stays quite chesty. She never really goes and flips into a head voice, not very often at all. She's done it quite a bit on the Synthesis album, more than any other album, but yeah, so when she's singing that song in particular and she's trying to keep that, yeah, I can completely understand. Yeah, on that, good enough then. It seems to me like her voice just cracked. During the Open Door era, she was pretty bang on with her vocals, but she did start to push herself a lot harder. I mean, a lot of the Open Door songs, the vocals are very, very, very hard, and they're quite forceful and pushed all the way through the chorus, and in the verses a lot of them tend to be quite deep and low, and you don't really have that middle place. So I don't think that she really has had much chance to, you know, sing in a place that's nice and comfortable for her. While she was doing the Open Door, she was pretty much having to sing either at a really deep place or a really high place. So I'm not surprised that her voice got tired and cracked and wore out. Yeah, again, having to really push through that broken. It's not just that it's a hard note. I mean, it is quite quite high, but it's a really long note as well. So you're trying to get the projection, you're trying to hit this really high note, and if you're trying to stay in chest voice, then obviously you're trying to hit it with that, but at the same time it's really long, so you're trying to keep your breath. And yeah, we've had quite a bit of My Heart Is Broken, so I think I'm going to pass on the rest of those. Yeah, again, that's another excerpt from that Good Enough that we saw just before, and she's definitely tired. She definitely has a very, very tired voice, and she's really straining. You can see her throat's quite tense and quite tight. You can see that she's really having to strain for these notes. And don't let Good Enough fool you. Good Enough is not an easy song. It's easier than most Ev songs, but it's easy by an Ev standard, not a standard. My heart is broken. Yeah, the Your Star one, I don't think that was anything wrong with her voice. I think she was struggling to pitch it. A lot of people find it undesirable when singers climb to a note and don't go straight onto the note. For instance, I can't see your star. So, you know, you've sort of hit a note before the note you're after to help you find it. And a lot of singers find that undesirable to do. Personally, I try not to do it just because my father found it really undesirable and would always be like, don't do that. So, but I don't really find it bad to listen to. And it really helps you in hard songs sometimes to get where you're going. Now, I'm not a voice coach. I don't know if it's, you know, bad for your voice or anything like that. But I do find it helps me sometimes. But usually Amy doesn't do that. Usually Amy just goes, I can't see your star. So she hits it straight off. She was trying to avoid climbing to it for whatever reason. Maybe she finds it undesirable. Maybe she just, I don't know, it didn't occur to her to just climb to it. And she was really backed off. She was really tight and tense and backed off from it because I think she didn't trust herself to hit it straight away, so she grew into it. Maybe there was something earlier in the performance that made her doubt her ability. I don't know. Yeah, again, another Good Enough. That note, that whole thing is so hard to do, and it's not as easy as it sounds or as easy as she makes it look most of the times. She's clearly hurting. Maybe she didn't warm up properly. Maybe she didn't have her drink with her on stage. Maybe, you know, she'd just been rocking out so hard to all the other songs that she'd sort of broke herself. I mean, that happens. Sometimes you get so into the songs that you kind of forget that you need to keep a bit in the tank and forget that you need to try and keep a hold of your technique so you don't lose your voice. Maybe she was sick, you know. Okay, so I let that play through a couple of little bits here because these segments are so short. The Your Star, again, she was a bit flat on that one. Now, when a singer goes flat on stage, you can't always blame the singer, to be honest, because sometimes the reason that we go flat is either the monitor sound is not great, or maybe you've had this. If you've ever been listening to music for a really long time in earphones, say for like over 2 hours or something, you're on a journey, and you've had them really loud, everything starts to sound different. It'll change the pitch because your ear starts to build up with wax. So it could have been that. It could have been that, you know, her monitor sound just wasn't great. But something made her think that the song was in a different key, because she didn't crack and she didn't struggle to hit the note. She was just, you know, she held it fine. She was just off key. So yeah, clearly she, for some reason, she was hearing it different to the actual, you know, the key it was in. Oh, bless her. That's such a shame. Oh, she was, you could tell she was so embarrassed, and I feel sorry for her because she's incredible. She's an absolutely amazing singer, and nobody can expect singers to perform as well live as they do on an album every time they perform live. You just can't do it. We're not guitars, we're not drums, we're not basses, we're not violins or clarinets or pianos. You know, you can't just tune us and then we're good for a whole show. Our voices get tired, they break. Just how warm it is or cold it is in a venue, whether there's a lot of smog in the town that you're in, as weird as it sounds, if you're in more of an urban environment than you know, a rural environment. If you have a cold, if you've recently travelled and you haven't acclimatized yet, you know, if you didn't warm up properly, if the monitors aren't 100%, if things sound weird in your monitors as a guitarist, as long as you're still playing the chord that you're supposed to be playing, it's going to be in key. When you're a singer, if things aren't right in the monitors, you don't have just like a fail-safe chord you hit on your throat, and you know, you have to pitch it yourself. Sometimes we have our bad moments and they're so embarrassing, and they really are, but it is what it is and we can't really do much about it. And in the moment we just have to try our best to, you know, just, the show must go on. So thank you for watching my reaction to Amy Lee's worst vocals. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I hope that it was illuminating for you. Most of all, I hope that you found it quite genuine, because I am giving you my honest opinions. I am not trying to sugarcoat anything. It's just, as a singer myself, you know, I don't look and listen and go, oh my God, that's absolutely awful, they're terrible. I look and go, I feel you, because I've been there, and I know what it's like when you're tired and you still have like 4 or 5 songs left in your set and your voice hurts, and yeah, you've got no choice but to keep going, just to keep going. Like I said, like Freddie Mercury said, the show must go on, you know, and it's horrible. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, then please don't forget to go and check out those other videos. I will put them in end screens at the end of this video, but this video will be the first in the series, so if they're not there yet, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell so that as soon as I upload them, you will see them. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Bye.